Herzlich willkommen zu Kanal 21 Backstage. Heute bei mir sind zwei Bandmitglieder des Heavy Hitters Acoustic Projects. Während im Hintergrund bereits ein Soundcheck läuft, darf ich ganz recht herzlich den Marc Raner an der Gitarre und den Michael Vdelli an der Gitarre und am Leadgesang begrüßen. Schön, dass ihr hier seid. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
So, hearing the name Heavy Hitters, you usually don't picture an acoustic band. How did you think of the idea of starting such an acoustic project?
Well, there's two questions, isn't it? One's about the name and one's about the band. So if I answer the question about the name first, it's actually a line out of one of our songs, one of our Vdelli songs. We have another band called Vdelli, which is a hard rock band. And when we decided to put together a second act to play on the nights on tour when we weren't playing with Vdelli, we were looking through some lyrics, and I think Marc actually picked out, why don't we call it the Heavy Hitters, and met some mixed responses in Germany, because it looks kind of funny at first when you read it.
I mean, it has some kind of meaning, you know. You could put it like, now we're hitting the strings a bit harder and all a bit heavier, you know. I mean, you can put a lot of things in that name, basically. And we were running out of ideas, and that, you know, was one line of the song, and I think it sounded good. So, you know, if you actually look on the web, if you want to start a band and call it Acoustic Project, there's many names already gone, you know. So you have to pick something that's a bit more unique.
All right. And where do you see the special appeal in acoustic music, especially in comparison to music played with electric elements?
It's quieter, and so a lot of people, especially a lot of young people now, freak out when the music's too loud. They're not used to like really loud music anymore. I don't know why. So a lot of venues tend to prefer to book acoustic acts as well. So again, it really ties in with our rock tours, because on the nights that it's difficult to get it, like a Monday or a Tuesday, sometimes it's hard to get a concert club to book a band. So it really works in well, ties in well from that point of view.
All right. So your repertoire differs from blues and jazz to rock and pop. Why did you choose to vary between these different styles of music instead of just concentrating on one specific?
Well, I think in the first line, it was like, you know, which songs from the band Vdelli can we do, you know, which can we rearrange and do acoustically. And I think there are a couple of really good songs that we picked, and they work really well with the two acoustic guitars, bass and the drums as well. And then we thought about, you know, which songs can we add to those Vdelli songs, and that was the starting point. And then I think everybody came basically up with ideas and songs that we all knew and we all like, and which are just fun for us to play. And I think so far we had maybe one or two songs we, you know, played once or twice and then left behind, you know. But all the other songs, they stayed, and they seem to work.
Cool.
Trying to find a warm place to spend the night. Heavy rain falling, seems I hear your voice calling. It's all right. Baby, raining out in Georgia.
So you've already played some big concerts, like your European tour, which was a huge success.
Yeah.
When you're up there on stage, what's most important about your show?
Oh, that the audience has a good time. That's the end result. Is if the audience doesn't have a good time, you've wasted your time. There's things that help with that, like sounding good on stage, playing well together, listening, concentrating, but in the end, it's all about the audience and not about you as an individual. Just making sure that everybody feels better when they left the concert than when they came. And if you can do that, then maybe you get another gig. So that's the way we think about it.
Okay. You just released your new album, and it's called A Little Bit Closer. And what's the special thing about it? It's your first only acoustic album, right? Mm-hmm. So how did you like producing and recording this album?
Very complicated. We did it in one room all together at the same time, live, and we just pressed record. and then after, I think we maybe put one or two solos on, but basically we set up in a room not unlike this one, and we just played live, recorded it, took it home, mixed it, and then put it out.
Was it something special for you because you've only recorded songs with electric elements before?
Yeah, I think that's why we did it that way. I think if we tried to get too into the production side of stuff, we didn't, because we don't really know what we were doing with acoustic instruments. We stuck with what we knew, and what we knew is how to play live. And so we just kept it really simple. And well, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I mean, I haven't had any really negative feedback about the production quality, and most people that have bought it have emailed us back or messaged us and said they like it. So I think it was a successful way to go.
Right. Marc, you're new to the band. How was it for you? How was it for me? Well, in the studio, I have to say it was pretty cold compared to this room. I remember that was the only negative thing, but apart from that, we had a lot of fun, and it went really quick. I mean, I went up to Hamburg, 6 hours with the train, and we recorded. I went back 6 hours with the train. I sat in the train. How did that weekend went? You know, so it was fun. I mean, we played a lot of gigs before, prior to recording, so everybody knew the songs, and yeah, we didn't do big production, as Michael said, you know. And I think in the end, when people listen to the CD, it's like going to the concert and listen to the band, and it's no artificial stuff in there.
Yeah, that's cool. So what are your plans for the future? How will this acoustic project continue?
I want to keep breathing for a start. Well, we just plan to keep doing what we're doing, which is have it as a side project from Vdelli, the band, and to play as when we can't get big shows that we want with the band, because it's hard to get 7 shows a week when you're on tour. Maybe you can get 3 or 4, but and on our off nights, keep doing what we're doing, and it's actually doing a lot better than we thought it might. So we're starting to get festivals and good bookings for this band now. So you know, we'll probably make another CD, and just it's like Marc was kind of saying, it's more of a fun thing that's sort of become popular that we didn't really expect. So that's not a bad thing.
That's a really good thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. So, thank you very much for this interview. Vielen Dank. Das war's mit Kanal 21 Backstage und dem Heavy Hitters Acoustic Project. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal.
To